Hello, and welcome to northeast of Algonquin. My name is Kara, and I run a small homestead in the woods alongside my boyfriend John, a little ways northeast of Algonquin Park in Ontario, Canada. We have 3 dogs, an 11-year-old Chihuahua named Dexter, and 2 2-year-old livestock guardian dogs, Bridget and Athena. We also have 2 cats, Phoenix, who's a complete menace, and Freya, who's the sweetest cat in the world. And then there's Layla, our velveteen lop rabbit. We also have 50-something chickens. Life on the homestead isn't always chaotic, hardly anything goes to plan, and there's always some sort of project on the go, or something that needs fixing. While you probably won't see John on camera, join me while we navigate the ups and downs of homesteading and learning on the go. This life we've chosen isn't always easy, but we wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
Take it easy, day by day. Oh, that's what we do. Watching people all stressed out, running through their lives, a game they play, 1,000 miles of sadness. I can be with you wherever, stay at home. Tomorrow, let's stay up until the morning light. Let the sun take care of your sorrow, and I promise the kids will be alright, 'cause we don't want them all stressed out, running for their lives, a game they play.
Dexter, are you helping yourself to raspberries? Don't mind me, Mom. I'm just over here just gorging myself on wild raspberries. Yeah. Oh, I think you found one. Yep, he did. Little turkey. All right, good morning, guys. Oh, I'm hot. Okay, so you saw me making my coffee. I ended up taking a little time to myself this morning. It's been a long week. And the livestock dogs are still sleeping. Really, the only animal that's up yet is Dexter, the Chihuahua. And so words are hard. Yeah, anyway. So today's video is going to be just slightly different. I really need to try and focus on staring at the lens, not at myself. Anyway, today's focus is a little bit different than my last few videos. I should be working on garden stuff, but I'm feeling the need to just take a day and do some things that I enjoy doing. Like I said, it's been a long week. It's actually been a couple of weeks, really, since I've filmed anything. I do still have one more video to edit to get caught up on my starting the fence posts on the garden. Or not starting them, getting further with them, because I think I've put out a video on that already by the time you're seeing this. It's really hard to try and keep track of when I'm filming, what I've already shown you guys and what I've still got to edit. But yeah, I haven't really gotten up to a whole lot that's, super interesting, or, not just sitting there editing, and nobody wants to watch a whole video on me editing. That would be pretty boring. But yeah, anyway, I was saying focus today is slightly different. I'm going to start off my day with some baking. What's today? Today is Saturday. So last weekend, Monday, I guess, was when I had my last day off. Was it Monday? It might have been Monday. Anyway, either way, I found a recipe online for sandwich bread. And so I made that because I'm starting to get frustrated with not having any results with or not having good results with the sourdough. Not giving up on the sourdough. I am actually going to start another loaf today using my friend's recipe. See if that helps. It's a friend of mine sent me some of her dehydrated starter to add to my starter. And so I've done that. But she's not quite reached her peak yet today. So we're going to give her a few more hours, or a couple more hours, before I attempt the sourdough loaf. But in the meantime, I'm going to use that same friend's recipe and make some sandwich bread. Because she gave me her recipe for sandwich bread as well. So I want to see if it's any better than the one that I found online. So we're going to get started with that. What else am I going to get up to today? I might do some, I might harvest some herbs, some wild medicine to put in the dehydrator. My yarrow, wild yarrow, is going crazy both in my garden and out of my garden because I had transplanted a little bit of it a couple of years ago because I was worried that the little patch that I had, the location that I had, or that it was popping up in, that it wasn't going to survive on me. And I really like yarrow. Yarrow is great for like wound healing and stuff like that. And so I'd like to get an infused oil going. That's if I have enough oil. Let's see, where is my olive oil? Of course, way in the back. Well, I don't know if I'll have enough. Maybe, possibly. Well, I have enough for a small jar anyway, either way. So yeah, I'd like to do that. I'd like to get some in the dehydrator to put into a jar in my apothecary for future use, in case I'd like to do something with it in the winter and it's not around. I think, yeah, I do have a very small patch of goldenrod that is ready to harvest. So when that patch is ready, it tells me that in another week or two, I should have a lot more around the property that will be ready. Because for some reason, the patch that's over here, it is ready way before the rest. I don't know why. And goldenrod is really good for inflammation, which I deal with a lot. So I actually do have a jar up here that is just the goldenrod flowers, dehydrated flowers, that I use for teas and infusions and stuff, herbal infusions that you drink, that I just usually will make in a small thing. I'm also going to make some more of my honey turmeric balm today, because my last batch ended up crystallizing on me. For some reason, we buy honey for me. I'm hypoglycemic, which means that basically I'm the opposite of diabetics. So instead of my body retaining too much sugar, my body doesn't retain enough. And so my blood sugar can bottom out. But you'll notice that I put honey in my coffee. And the reason I do that is because it stays in my blood system, or in my, the sugars stay in my system longer with honey than they do than white sugar does. And I'm not a breakfast person, never have been. Even as a kid, I was not a big breakfast person for some weird reason, probably because I have some gut issues. For some weird reason, if I eat breakfast, I feel nauseous for about 4 hours afterwards, and that's no fun and not a good way to start your day. So in order to boost my blood sugar in the morning, I put honey in my blood sugar, or in my coffee. I mean, I put honey in my blood, but but it's more natural than processed sugar, so it stays in my system a lot longer. But because of that, I go through quite a bit of honey. So we buy it in large bottles, and while I would prefer to have raw honey, a bottle this size, which lasts me about 3 weeks, would be very, very expensive in raw form. I do have a couple of, jars over here that are, natural raw honey that I do use here and there. But I also use this for my honey turmeric balm. And I had, where is it? Here. The last one I opened, which is interesting because it's from the exact same lot number as this bottle. I know this because I've checked. The last one I've opened, I noticed when I opened it that it was a little bit bottom heavy. Didn't really think much of it at the time. I should have, because I've been using honey for years. But you'll notice this is what it should look like all the way down. And this is what this one looks like. So you can see this one has crystallized, which means that I can't get it out of this container without heating it up. And as soon as you start doing that multiple times, it crystallizes even more. And so basically the rest of this honey is not really any good to me. And so, yeah, I had used, again, when I first opened it. Now, it wasn't as bad when I first opened it, but I had used that for my honey turmeric balm, which made it crystallize within a week. And I don't like crystallized honey turmeric balm. It's gross. It's a weird texture because you just take a spoonful of it and put it in your mouth and swallow. And I've got some very major sensory issues when it comes to textures. And so doing that with crystallized honey turmeric balm makes me gag. And I can't get it down. And so that's not good. So we're going to make a new one of those. So yeah, since I've now rambled for 10 minutes, we're going to get started on the bread, which means I need to get my stand mixer out. I have enough butter out here to make 2 loaves, but we're just going to do one at a time because, and I probably won't film the second one because it'll be a little bit repetitive, but I'm going to do them one at a time because I only have one Pullman pan. So yeah, we're going to get started on that. So I'm going to gather up all my ingredients and then we'll be right back. Okay, got my yeast. So I have taken the milk and the water together and heated them. They're supposed to be 110. It's at like just 110 Fahrenheit. It's literally just below that. So I'm going to just pour it into the bowl, and we're going to dissolve the sugar and the yeast into that. Okay, sugar. So this recipe has a couple of variations of how much sugar you can use. It calls for 3/4 cup. Now my friend whose recipe this is said that she thinks that's way too much. And it comes out very, very sweet. And so we're going to change it. And I'm going to use 1/3 cup. So into there. And then didn't really leave myself much room to get into the drawer there. And then the yeast. Can this, okay, it does fit. 1.5. That'll go back into the fridge momentarily. All right, and I'm just going to mix this enough to dissolve the sugar and mix in the yeast. And then we're going to let it sit for 10 minutes. So Actually, maybe I need a whisk because this yeast is, for some reason, clumping up a little bit, which it shouldn't be, but you know. One of these days, I will take all of my recipes and get them printed out and in plastic sheets, because I'm just realizing that having this recipe book like sitting here like this might not be the best idea while I'm baking. Still feel some sugar in there. And a little bit of the yeast, actually. I think. Let's see. Well, maybe not. Yeah, for some reason that's clumping up pretty good. I wonder if maybe I need to warm this just slightly more. It might have cooled down a little while I was gathering ingredients. I'm just going to pop it in the microwave for a few seconds. Because that should be dissolving, so. I am, as I say about my carpentry skills, not the world's best baker. I am a cook by trade. That's what I do for work. I cook in a long-term care center, a small one. I've cooked in many restaurants at this point in my life, but I do like the cooking in the long-term care. I find it more enjoyable than the super high, fast-paced kitchen environment. Well, I shouldn't really say that, because there are some things that I do actually miss about working in the restaurant environment. I do miss the camaraderie that comes with it, but I definitely don't miss having to be at such a fast pace all the time. And my body definitely doesn't miss that either as I get older. Now that I'm in my 40s, I don't think my body would like that very much anymore. I've got, not with my sciatica and that anyway. When I was in my 20s, I was quite sore working in restaurants after a long day. So, okay, I think this is good and mixed now, dissolved now. So I'm gonna let that sit for 10 minutes and then we'll come back. Okay, so I'm a little bit out of breath because my 100-pound livestock dog decided to go on a house tour when I went to take them out. They're not allowed upstairs because they are destroyers of things. And yeah, she decided that she was going on a tour. So, as you can see, this has done its thing. And that was only actually 10 minutes. So, we're going to get started here. And I now need to whisk in 1 cup of the flour, which is over here. And I actually have containers coming today for flour, big, huge food grade buckets with those twist-on lids because I've started getting my flour in very large bags rather than getting it in the like 5 kilogram or the 5 pound, is it? Anyway, the small bags, they're like, you know, 5 pound, I think. All right, and then I need to whisk in the salt and the oil. Now I like pink Himalayan salt. My mom had gotten a whole bunch, a big huge container in bulk that she's never going to use. 1.5, so that's 1. So she gave me some of it because she'll never use that much, or she won't for a really long time. But yeah, I prefer pink Himalayan salt. Just a personal preference. Bridget's mad because I haven't fed them yet because she decided to go on a house tour. Okay, so whisk in the salt and the butter. Now you can use coconut oil for this. It calls for vegetable oil. I don't think I've ever seen anybody that I know anyway bake with vegetable oil. And I do have coconut oil, but I'm just going to use butter for this one because I already had it out. So that is that. And now we're going to add in the rest of the flour, a cup at a time. Ignore the barking dog. She is mad about breakfast not being prompt, but she can wait a minute because this is not going to take me very long, so she can hold on to her shorts. All right, we're going to add in the remaining flour a cup at a time. Now, my friend that gave me this recipe does do this by hand and then kneads by hand. However, I have tennis elbow that has been acting up this summer, and so I'm trying not to, so that's 3 total because the one we added, we added the 4. I'm trying not to overdo things with my shoulder because you get the tennis elbow refers pain into my shoulder, and so I'm just trying not to overdo it. Okay, so this is 4, I believe. Oh God, I hope that's 4. Now, it does say you may need more or less. So, I believe that's 4 total. So I think I'm probably only going to need the lower end of this recipe for flour. Okay, yeah. Ooh, probably should have put the guard on. That's okay. That's okay. We're just making a mess over here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do actually is pull this, let this come down off of the hook, because what's happening is it's all, the moist stuff is sticking to the top here, and the flour is not getting incorporated properly. So we'll get this down off there, and then I'll finish adding the flour. All right, so at this point, I'm supposed to let it knead for 5 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and get Bridget her breakfast, and Athena, obviously, but Athena is not the one that's upset out there. She doesn't really care as much. But Bridget is pretty set in her routine, which is a good thing. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna leave this for 5 minutes. I'm gonna go feed the dogs. And we'll come back. All right. The dogs are fed and happy. And looks like my dough is about ready. It is mixed and elasticy, which is what we're looking for. So, looks like my mixer shifted a little bit in the on the counter here. That's okay. My hands are clean. Just putting that out there. And even if they were not, it's my bread, not yours. Kidding, but still. All right. Set that there for now. Okay, so now it says oil a large bowl and place the dough in it. But you know what? No, because that yeast was pretty darn active. I was going to put it in my bread proofing bowl, which I have here. It's a collapsible plug-in, but that yeast was pretty active, so I shouldn't need to do that. I don't know why I put those little bits in there, but we're going to oil the bowl. Place the ball of dough in it. Is it? Yeah, well, yeah, I guess it's the right texture. I was going to say, is it the right texture? But I think it is. Yeah, we're good. Okay, place the ball of dough in the bowl. And maybe I should have got a bigger bowl. You know what? Yeah, we'll do the bigger bowl. Because I've seen pictures of Shannon's loaves proofing, so place the ball in the bowl. Oil the top of the dough. And cover with a damp cloth. You know what? She uses saran wrap. Let's use saran wrap because I don't have a cloth big enough to cover that bowl, so I'm going to use saran wrap. I'll just do what Shannon does. It's her recipe, so. Oh, Athena is letting the whole neighborhood know she's outside. And by neighborhood, I mean the few neighbors we have here.
This wrap barely goes over that bowl. All right. So now we just let it rise. So I'm going to clean up my mess and we'll come back in an hour. See where it's at. All right, so it appears my mic has died on me, so hopefully the audio quality is okay. I went ahead and greased my loaf pan, and now I'm gonna shape the loaf. This has rested long enough. I'm gonna try and shape it into a rectangle as best that I can. Again, don't know what I'm doing, just trying my best here. Alright, so what I see people doing is they've got their basic rectangular shape. Something like that, I don't know. Fold one side in. Fold the other side in. And then start rolling and squeezing. I don't really know. You know, that's what I see people doing. So that's what I'm gonna do. Don't really get how you seal the edges properly doing this, but a little water to seal the edges. Right, you're supposed to, you know, squeeze it out. See, and this is where I get, because I'm like, how do you, if you're squeezing it out and making it longer, how do you get it to not, you know, do the croissant thing where it pushes out on itself? I don't get it. I don't understand. Because yeah, mine always, or the last couple that I've done, I shouldn't say always, because it's not like I've been doing this for very long. But the last couple that I've done wanna do that like croissant roll thing where they don't roll out the way that I feel like they should. I want this to be a little bit longer because my Pullman pan is 13 inches. Okay, well maybe that might work. I also want it to be even and not like bigger on one side. So, that looks like it's sealed enough anyway. Okay. Now, oh crap, I forgot to melt the butter for the top. I don't know if that's going to be enough actually, now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, see, it's like weird. Anyway, a little more melted butter. What did I do with that? A little more, yeah, a little more butter. Let's melt a little bit more butter than that. I'll tell John I'm stealing some of his salted butter. Yeah, so this is like I expected to, but shape the loaf. I said let me know. Yeah, so that's should be okay. Brush with melted butter, and then I need to let it rise again. Here is my whole lot of butter, but you know, what do you do? You use what you got, that's what you do. Sometimes I will spend the extra money on the things, depending on what they're for, and other times I will not. Okay, so I need to let it rise. Now in the 9.5 inch loaf pans, you're supposed to let it rise above the loaf pan, but with a Pullman pan you don't do that. So yeah, I don't know. We're just gonna cover, look how it looks. We're gonna cover it and let it do its thing, and I'll just keep an eye on it, I guess. All right, so as you can see, the bread has risen to the top of the pan. The oven is preheated, so I'm gonna put it in for 30 minutes at 350. Okay, so the bread's spilled up and out and over a little bit, which I'm told can happen. So what I'm gonna do, I did actually, I don't want to send this flying across the counter. Ooh, there it goes. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just quickly take the internal temp of the middle. I did take it over here, but I want to take it of the middle just to make sure it's actually done. Because it should be about 190 degrees Fahrenheit, not according to this recipe, just according to Google. Yeah, it's not quite there. Very close though. So I think what I'm going to do is just throw it back in for a few extra minutes, because I'm not sure I trust that it is actually finished. If I can get the lid back on. Come on. There we go. Come on. But yeah, it did spill over a little bit, but I'm told that can happen, so with a Pullman pan. Alright, I'm just going to give it an extra 5 minutes. Okay, so we're at the right temperature. Whoops. At the right temperature. And for a soft crust, which I like, it says to brush it with melted butter. So I'm just going to do that. And then we're going to cover it with a clean tea towel. Excuse me. I don't like this this thing. Cover it with clean tea towel for 5 minutes. Let it cool, and then take it out of the pan. I've heard with the Pullman pans to do 10 minutes on the cool, first cool, so that's what I'm going to do with that. Alright, so future Kara here. I realized as I was editing this video that I didn't actually show you guys what the loaf looked like when it came out. Since then, I have been making this bread just like we haven't been buying store-bought bread. So this is a loaf that I made and froze, and we are now currently eating. So I've sliced it all up, and it essentially is like about the size of a normal loaf of bread, maybe a little bit longer. But yeah, that's what we have been using for sandwich bread, toast, all the things. And I'm also experimenting with it now, and I made a Nutella swirl loaf. and that turned out quite nicely. So yeah, just a little quick update, and I guess the kitchen looks slightly different from the last time you guys would have seen it. I've reorganized things, reorganized the counter over here. It's all of our teas and stuff like that. And my dehydrator, which usually sits over here, is now sitting over here, and it will get moved into place as we need it. But yeah, whole new setup. I also killed our KitchenAid. Did not realize the KitchenAid that we had, which was purchased for John 15 years ago by his parents when he first moved out on his own, first moved into his first apartment, I guess, was not powerful enough for denser breads. And yeah, I managed to kill it, so I had to buy a new one. We are going to try and get the other one fixed, because he's got a sentimental attachment to it, but yeah, I had to go and buy a new mixer. So yeah, 7-quart mixer is the one that KitchenAid recommends for denser breads, so that is what I purchased. It was a little on the pricey side, but it does the job. I made this loaf in that mixer a couple of days ago, and yeah, enjoying it very much, and moved my canisters that my aunt made years ago onto the counter, because it made more sense to have my flour right beside my mixer. So yeah, anyway, just wanted to give you guys a quick update on the bread. It is delicious. We've been using it for a couple of weeks now. 3 weeks, something like that. I can't remember when this last video was filmed. I think, I want to say 3rd week in July, and it is now August 13th or 14th as I'm filming this little clip. So yeah, anyway, just thought I'd give you the final result rather than just a picture. So yeah.